the Sevens, New Zealand Sevens team, All Black Sevens, has always been like a kind of like a talent identification, where back in the day, Titch used to get a lot of the boys that weren't really, kind of out of high school and young guys that didn't really know how to be professionals, and that was sort of what he did. He trained them up to learn how to be professionals, and then sort of like a stepping stone to become a super player and then All Black. But I guess these days, Sevens has got its own pathway, so that still happens. And yeah, I guess we're just used to it. We bring them in, try and fast track them, teach them everything, and then a lot of the time they're there for a year, and then they're playing Super Rugby, and then the odd one goes on to the All Blacks. So I guess it's just all part of it.
So you spoke about Sevens kind of working for New Zealand and producing 15s players. Do you reckon that's going to split away and Sevens is going to run its own path in the future? You said about players being freakish. Like, is it going to go Sevens one way, 15s the other, or do you still see some value in keeping the crossover?
I don't think it will ever be completely separate. These Red Bulls come to the table in New Zealand, and they've started up a Red Bull Ignite campaign, which gets all like the best 16 to 19-year-olds in the country, and once every year they run this 2-week-long program where they split them up into teams and give them, not world class, but really good coaches in New Zealand, and run them through all the fitness testing, all that, and then make a little mini tournament. So that's come in the last few years, which has been good. I think William Walbrook, and then after the tournament and that, they picked 3 players to then come into camp with us, which those players are always young little freaks. So William Walbrook was one of those boys who's now in our squad.
He's not little.
You boys have seen one side of him.
Not lucky I wasn't there for that one this year.
Yeah.
On the hiss.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a big, strong man, and I could only dream of being that. I'll never be like that.
So moving on a little bit, how is the Sevens viewed in like New Zealand? Like in England, it's kind of I'd say it's looked down on quite a lot by 15s players, especially, and especially by 15s coaches. In New Zealand, has it got like, what's the value of it, and how do people view it in New Zealand? Is it different, or what's the crack?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Back where I'm from, down in Christchurch in Canterbury, Sevens was never. It's not really big. It's not really concentrated on, because Canterbury sort of, from their history, they've got a kind of like a factory that just pumps out unreal 15s players, and they focus a lot of their money and everything into 15s, which is fair enough because they've been so successful. But yeah, I guess there's the same as you guys. There's a little bit of that, but to be honest, it's changed in the recent years. I think it's more Clark Laidlaw's been pretty good with getting good relationships with the Super Rugby coaches and that, so we are able to get a few of their players for Olympic seasons and that. But I guess when you look at it, probably the pay's obviously nowhere near as much as the 15s All Blacks, which is probably fair enough. So a lot of people look at Sevens and be like, the amount of work and effort you have to put in to kind of the pay you get, probably, and if you did that in 15s, you'd probably get paid way more, I guess. I can't really talk from experience because I haven't really played any Super Rugby or anything. So, but from what I've heard, it's kind of, probably a bit too much work, and there's not really anything you can do after representing New Zealand in Sevens. You can't go and play in a IPL Japanese Sevens league. So there's no really...
Not yet.
I'm waiting until that one, I tell you. Running out of time fast.
We'll have to be coaches, boys, I think, by the time that starts.